Pasha Pyro, Wide at 7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. Big board pep for my peeps. We gotta bust it down real quick, right? So, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna review a couple stocks, and I know it's been a couple days since I last spoke to you. I appreciate your patience. Let's get into it. You see the shrooms behind me. We're gonna go and take a dive into Mydecine. Something I mentioned to you guys before, quite recently. It's up basically 30% for the day. Okay? And if you're talking, not even a couple weeks ago, you're almost at the point where it's up, it's doubled in the last couple weeks, you know? So what's going on with them? You know, there's always news with Mydecine. I'm gonna just say Mydecine. That may or may not be how you pronounce it. When you think of shrooms, do you think of taking a trip, or do you think of medicinal benefits? How do you feel about it? Okay, so now if we look at the stock here, let me know in the comments below how you feel. What's your take on it? So back here, there was a spike, and then there was a immediately followed by a drop. Okay, and as you can see, we're retesting basically that position here again today. All right, now this green box area here, up and down from like what's that, 31 cent or so to 42, is where I think it's gonna bounce around in, and then I think it's gonna have an opportunity to actually go into this zone here. Let me do it this way. Once it crosses over 41 cents, the next line I would be looking at. Now, granted, it's got to get to the 42-cent mark, which it could do before the day is over. Then it's got to hold it. Now, once it holds it, it's got a good opportunity to run to 51 cents. And then, you know, there's some space above that for it to do other things. Of course, we want to see this go to like $100, right? And that could be coming in the future, because what they're doing is revolutionary in the industry. Let's take a look at their website, because the thing I like about them, like I said in the last video, and if you want some more details, there's a couple videos I did on this. Just go through, search them, and see, get more information about it. Okay, this is for your entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am not an advisor. If you want advice, go seek a professional. Okay, so now if we go back and look, right, on the 6th, they had some innovative solutions for treating mental health. Now, what I really, let's say, go over real quick would be this here from the 7th. The next step for legal mushrooms, losing the trip. Bob Marley's family and others are getting in on the non-psychedelic CBD version of magic mushrooms, right? So let's take a look at what's going on here. The latest push, make sure you guys can see this. Okay, cool. The latest push for the burgeoning psychedelic industry is to lose the whole pesky psychedelic element, and it has a surprise backer in the late Bob Marley. The shroom industry is calling them functional mushrooms. I was going to say functional shrooms, but it says functional mushrooms. A tip of the spear marketing move attempting to legitimize the image of fungi as medicine, without promising far out, potentially transformative trips that most people associate with psychedelics. So remember, we were talking last time, and the joke at the end was, we just have to have the nursing staff, be familiar with shrooms to make sure that you don't go on a bad trip, because that was like the only drawback to using the actual raw state mushroom, the whole version of it, right, was that you could potentially have a bad trip. Well, here now, as of the 7th, they're addressing that as a concern, because if they can get rid of that, then what would be stopping them from using the other parts, the remaining beneficial factors of the resource that we call mushrooms, right? For health and wellness. So it says, but Silo Wellness, a Canadian-based company that currently offers a range of guided magic mushroom retreats. You see what I mean? So once the nursing staffs are trained to give you a guided magic mushroom retreat, that would reduce your potential for a bad trip. Maybe this could be done earlier than, they separating out the whole psychedelic element in its entirety. So but Silo Wellness, a Canadian-based company that currently offers a range of guided magic mushroom retreats in the coastal resort mecca of Montego Bay, Jamaica, with jamming. Hey, they said it was Bob Marley's family in on this too, right? So it makes sense. So look, when Wilmington, Delaware in the house, all right, Bob Marley spent some time there as well, where I was born, same city. So where many psychedelic drugs are legal. Well, they're talking about Jamaica. So it's hoping these shroomy supplements can help capture the emerging psychedelic market value at roughly $4.5 billion as of 2020. And they're doing this with celebrity brand recognition. How else? How else do you roll out any new product? How else? Celebrity brand recognition, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's continue. So, Silo has partnered with the family of the late reggae pioneer Bob Marley to launch Marley One, a functional mushroom line and tinctures, right? If I said that properly, incorporating mushrooms such as lion's mane, chaga, and reishi, right? While eyeing an eventual legal psychedelic product. As Silo CEO Douglas K. Gordon describes it in terms consistent with Marley's own Rastafarian beliefs, it goes more to plant medicine, it goes more to mindfulness, it goes more to embracing the fact that the earth has its own capacity for healing. Now, let me know, in the comments below, if you're into holistic medicine. Do you have a holistic health book? Do you look to go and seek herbs and make teas, or do you see what foods you can eat to offset problems you may be having in your body, or diseases or disorders? You know what I mean? Let me know how you use the earth medicinally, or do you always go to a pharmaceutical or a medical, traditional Western medical practice? Let me know. I'm just curious. I have a holistic health book. I like to, when people have elements and stuff, I look them up and let them see what's going on and what's referenced in the book. Anyway, let's get back to it. Let me know how you feel about that, because there's people that practice that as professionally as well, and you could look into that if you want maybe some alternatives in life. So, but let's continue with this. So Rita Marley, who prefers to be addressed as Miss Marley, widow of the late Bob, echoes these sentiments in a statement. Bob and I followed a strict natural diet that included mushrooms of all kinds. Miss Marley said, we were always mindful of what we consumed and held a deep respect for nature's bounty, knowing that we take from the earth and put into our bodies, what we take from the earth and put into our bodies affects our minds and spirit too, right? So check that out. Basically, they're looking to push, I'm not gonna say they're using, but they have the Marleys backing them, or they're backing the Marleys, and they're looking to come up with products that are going to eliminate the psychedelic trip part and just give the natural the natural healing and therapeutic elements. Okay, so then yesterday, right? Let's see here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Give you some detail on this, and I have one other stock today. So stay with me, Pasha Paro. Big boy pep for my peeps. Let's go.
All right, welcome to the Dale's Report, and how to be joined with the co-founder and...
You know what? That's 14 minutes long. We're not going to watch this. So let's see here. Come to their website and check it out yourself. But here it is, the Mydecine Advantage. Other smoking cessation drugs in the market, dangerous and ineffective. So they're looking to come out with something to offset the danger element there. You know that's going to be a big seller. And then here's what's happening today. Maybe this has something to do with the spike. So psychedelic finance interview with Damon Michaels, director, COO, and CO and co-founder. So Damon Michaels, hey, Damon Marley. Okay, Damon Michaels is the chief operations officer of Mydecine Innovations Group. Prior to joining MIG, Mr. Michaels was consulting for various hemp businesses through his company Emerald Baron. Before that, he served as GM for the leading multi-platform cannabinoid research and technology firm based in Colorado called EBU. In November 2018, EBU was acquired for CAD $429 million by Canopy Growth for being the cutting-edge leader in cannabinoid science. Over the last decade, Mr. Michaels has been in leading roles with multiple large brands throughout the cannabis vertical in Colorado and California. Outside of the cannabis industry, he developed a national snowboard brand with his team, was one of 4 entrepreneurs who created Colorado's first ever glass recycling company, and was on the business development team for a Google Ventures company. So, COO, right? That's his background. It really makes you feel a little confident in the outfit's leadership when you see that type of background with the person running the show, so to speak. So let's see what they say here real quick. So what made you personally want to get involved with psychedelics? Have you ever been to a really good, awe-inspiring magic show that left you walking out of the auditorium questioning reality? I always knew that there was more to life than what meets the eye. Transformers. But sometimes there's more than seeing with believing. After you've undergone a real psychedelic experience, it kills your ego. That should be standard. Like if it's gonna kill egos, like a lot of the spiritual side of the world, not saying religious, but they would appreciate the dismantling of the ego. You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much what's in conflict with most spirituality. But anyway, let's continue. You establish greater empathy for others and come to a realization that all things are connected. You also realize that there is so much more to life, consciousness, and healing than we ever thought possible. And I knew I wanted to find a way to one day take it mainstream to help awaken and heal others. Okay? So there you can see right there. I mean, just on energy, a vibration, a frequency connection for those that are into those terminologies, you know, this has great potential to serve various communities in the U.S., worldwide. It's moving. So yeah, we're up 27% right now. I think once we get hold the 42 cent mark, you know, so it's a great time to buy into it for your entertainment purposes and see what happens. Okay. I think it's going to continue to rise, and once this becomes a legitimate or a legalized product, it's gonna soar. So if you get in now, it's sub 50 cent right now. So I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but you know, how many shares would you have instead of buying a $40 or $50 stock? Right? Take a look at it, make your own decision, and now let's transition the conversation over to Dark Pulse. Okay? Give me a second here. So what Dark Pulse is, it's actually pretty cool. We're gonna go over this real quick too. So let me get it up on the let me pull the stock up for you real quick, and we'll take a look at that. Now the ticker symbol is DPLS, and it is having a monster day as well, and it's currently up. Well, for it's 2.3 cents is what it's up, but that's 15%. So it's currently up 15% on the day. Now let me get you over here so we can take a look at it. Here is the chart. As you can see, last month we were down, not to say down, but last month the stock was hovering at 7 or 8 cents. So it is more than doubled since the end of June, basically. All right. So if it continues, and we know how stocks work, right, people? So what we're gonna do here is, we know that things could go up, things could go down, right? So you see the high for the day is 17.5, right, cents, and it's currently at 17.2. But the thing is, it could go up or down just like anything else. So what we're looking at is, if it continues to go up at this, based on this trend here, this nice little trend here, I'm seeing that the 16.3 to 18.5 cents sounds solid. Now, you know, we could see what happens, where it could go from there. I'm looking to see it hold 18.5 cents, and then the next range or box that's going to be in will be all the way up to 22 cents, which it could reach as early as the 12th if it just continues on its current trajectory unaffected, right? So and then there's, you know, sky's the limit after that. So really great climb. If you're talking from the end of last month, you done doubled your money already. Great opportunity there. Let's take a look at some information here for you, so you can get some insight on Dark Plus, right? What is it? Who are they? What do they do? Let's take a look. Let me have some things here. So I want to show you so you can be familiar for your entertainment purposes. Now, Dark Plus, major move as worldwide leader in distributed fiber sensor solutions. BOTDA gains traction, right? So let's review some of this article here. It had some good information in it. Dark Plus Inc. is making a powerful move up the charts in the recent days. This article is from the 3rd of July, so it's like almost a week ago, but it's very insightful. So let's review, shall we? Dark Plus Inc. is making a powerful move up the charts in the recent days on an all-out blue sky breakout, surpassing a dime and averaging over $10 million per day in dollar volume. The stock is getting noticed by, now see, these are good things to see here. The stock is getting noticed by some pretty heavy hitter penny stock players. Any heavy hitter involved is good, because that means that they are seeing potential, right? So we're in early on, and let's talk about what it is that they do. So DPLS is quickly emerging as investors' favorite, and is currently among the most actively searched and talked about stocks in small caps. Now, DPLS is looking to blaze a path along the likes of Enzolytics or Tesoro and break out into a whole new dimension. Tesoro went to multi-dollars currently. DPS is on a blue sky breakout. Okay, so I would have to look into Tesoro to see what they are and what happened, and maybe you want to get into that too. Go check it out. So, Dark Plus is a leader in distributed fiber sensor solutions. All right, now fill this out. So the company's system outperforms all other distributed fiber sensors in the market today. So what they have, their product has basically now positioned itself to be top quality in the industry that it's in. So when you come out with something, in my mind, my opinion, and you're top quality in the industry, it's only a matter of time before everybody wants to. You know what I mean? Because they have to but they may or may not be able to afford you, right? But now the next time they do an upgrade, guess who's going to get the call? So if they can continue to hold that position as the best in the market, this is going to explode regardless of what the fuck it is they're involved in. Regardless of what they're involved in. So Dark Pulse's growing list of world-class capabilities and the company's positioning as the leader in infrastructure sensing and monitoring in all domains, air, land, and sea, which represents an enormous market worth billions, put the company in line for serious government contracts. Now, I like to see a company that can get some serious government contracts, all right? Because that is easy money in the bag for them. Everything else above that they work for to actually secure deals is additional profits. That's always a good thing. So anyway, according to many investors who are buying in here, so Micro Cap Daily reported on DPLS when the stock was less than a penny in January. So do that math. In January, the stock was less than a penny, and it's 17 cents now, 18 cents, moving up. If that gives you any trajectory line you want to draw with that. So DPLS is making a number of big moves, including building up its management team, recently appointing Mr. Fasal Faroki as its, excuse me if I pronounced that incorrectly, as its director for Asian Pacific, APAC, and the Middle East and North America, MENA global regions. Now, Dark Pulse Inc. uses advanced laser-based monitoring systems to provide rapid and accurate monitoring of temperature, strains, and stresses. The company's technology excels when applied to live dynamic critical infrastructure and structural monitoring, including pipeline monitoring, perimeter structural surveillance, aircraft structural components, and mining safety. Now, let me go back over that. All right. Excels, the live dynamic critical and structural monitoring is important, right? The fact that it's live, but what it's including is saying including pipeline monitoring, perimeter and structural surveillance, aircraft structural components, and mining safety. Now, Pasha, why are you emphasizing that? Because isn't this the time everybody's talking about rebuilding the infrastructure of what you call the United States of America? Now, if you're going to do some infrastructure work, if you got buildings just falling out the sky in Florida, you might want to monitor the perimeter and structural. You might want to have perimeter and structural surveillance installed maybe on these tall buildings. Like, then you wouldn't have to have an inspector come out and take a look. You could get real life feedback. Now, keep in mind, you're talking to someone that recently was a maintenance scheduler at a plant with 3 buildings, including a warehouse as one. So being responsible for the integrity of all the assets through scheduling the maintenance for the whole plant, you have condition-based monitoring systems to give you a more realistic picture of what's happening with your assets, your machinery, your structures, the integrity. So if I was the government and I'm saying we need to invest in infrastructure. I would want to protect my investment by being able to monitor the condition so that buildings don't fall out of the sky like Florida. At least you would have known it was coming before the inspector even said anything, because you could get the data real time. And you could have saw that weakening sections or however it went down. I don't know if it was really the case or what really caused it. We just all saw the same news articles. But I would want to be able to monitor it. You're installing pipelines. Energy is critical right now, you know? So they're looking for oil. They're looking for this. They're looking for all kinds of things and running through pipes. Well, here's pipeline monitoring. Aircraft, structural, planes, all kinds, whether it's military, whether it's civilian, whether it's commercial, whether it's private, aircraft structural components. And they need more silver. They want more gold. They want more coal. They want more iron, copper, right? So there's a lot of mining going on. So mining safety, boom, guess what? They're the best in the business. And as all of those industries expand and revamps and want to be replaced and updated, guess who should get a call? I'm just thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, I'm just entertaining you guys. This is not advice. But please be entertained, right? It's pretty entertaining to think about. What if they built all the new buildings with structural surveillance? Like, you would know what's going on with your building. What if you were in your apartment, condo, penthouse, whatever, on the 33rd floor of some tower, and you could push, go to your keypad, your phone, and actually check the integrity of your building before you went to sleep to make sure you felt good and comfortable before you go to sleep? How many people, I wonder, has lost sleep because they live in towers and they were reminded that they could fall? I mean, apartment buildings are 4 stories, 5 stories, easy. But what about the ones that are, 44 floors high? You see what I'm saying? So anyway, this is a great opportunity as in my opinion, as the infrastructure is redone, hopefully one day, before bridges and everything, more bridges start falling with cars on them and stuff, or like the was it DC? Not even like a month or two ago, the pedestrian bridge over the roadway collapsed. You see what I'm saying? So what if all of these structures? I think all of these structures should be built with structural surveillance in them. All right. So the company's fiber-based monitoring system can assist markets that are not currently served. Even more money. Can you say money? It and its unique technology covers extended areas and any event that is translated into the detection of a change in strain or temperature. So in addition to the company's ongoing efforts with respect to the marketing and sales of its technology, products, and services to its customers, the company also continues to explore potential strategic alliances through joint ventures and licensing opportunities to further expand its global market position. So when you get a license, that's like copyrights. You know what I mean? That's like royalties. So that means they're gonna be able to. They're looking to move themselves into a position like a cloud-based system, where they're gonna have some renewable revenue streams, and then they're gonna be able to sell products too that may be single cell items. You know what I mean? So if you got a contractor that's building that new high rise, they're gonna be able to hit them with the actual products they need to at installation in the very beginning, make that sale, and then depending on who these strategic alliances are and joint ventures, they're gonna be able to license something. Like maybe they'll have software that comes with the sensors for the residential community so that they can understand what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Translation. So this paragraph here talked about a video, and I read almost all this article. I didn't see the video they were talking about, but anyway, so DPLS started running early January, and Microcap Daily was there reporting on the stock as it was running out of the triple zeros, well below a penny stating time. So back then, right, Dark Pulse is making a strong move up in the recent weeks of its triple zero lows to recent highs of over 2 cents. Like, you know what I mean? This is a great opportunity to get in. So DPLS has attracted legions of new shareholders and is quickly emerging as a volume leader in small caps, topping 13 million in the dollar volume on Friday alone at that time. Okay, so DPLS is making a number of big moves, including building up its management, which we saw earlier, and let me get to, and then it gives you this chart here, and that's pretty much what the chart looks like going back to January 21. You can see it was definitely down at the zeros. We're hitting up over 17 cents, and this could fly off the rocket at any time. So let's take a look at this right here. Some of this may be repetitive, but it's not a lot. I just want you to get a grasp of this. So keep watching. Is this why the Dark Pulse stock rose 28% in last trading? Now this is from June 14th, so this was last month. All right, so look at this. It's like stupid. It's like 300, whatever that is. You see, it's up. It was at 0.00 January. It's over 17 cents now. That's huge. But anyway, you get where I'm going with it. So as of the latest trading, let's not worry about that part. Well, here's the part that we could take from it. That last line: DPLS stock jumped following the signing of 2 letters of intent, right? Controlling stakes into 2 firms. So what are they talking about is this right here. If you go to their website, on the 8th of June, Dark Pulse announces letters of intent to acquire both drone-based AI companies, remote intelligence, and wildlife specialists. Now, wildlife specialist sounds a little weird, but it's actually dealing with some surveillance stuff too. So that's when they did that, they actually, here, let's talk about it. So how did DPLS come to make those acquisitions? With Dark Pulse, high resolution temperature, strain, and stress monitoring can be performed with high accuracy. A major advantage of DPLS technology is its ability to perform live. So we know that from the last reading. Dynamic monitoring of critical infrastructure and structural components, if you're reading along with me here, such as pipelines, perimeters, airplanes, and mines. Okay, we just reviewed that. We're familiar. Feels good, because we're going to supposedly redo the whole infrastructure of the world, right? They should get a big check. Last week, Dark Pulse announced that it signed these 2 letters of intent to acquire control of remote intelligence and wildlife specialists. These companies are related. Let's continue. So together, these 2 companies will offer fully integrated drone-based geo-rectified 3D modeled mapping solutions for industrial applications specializing in oil and gas, energy, and environmental surveys. Dark Pulse will acquire 60% of remote intelligence and 60% of its sister company, Wildlife Specialists, by the terms of both LOIs. The acquisition is expected to cost $1.3 million, of which $1 million will be paid cash and $300,000 will be common shares. DPLS is scheduled to pay out the amount in 2 equal installments to its majority shareholders. DPLS will pay $300,000 in restricted common shares upon closing, with the remaining $1 million payable in cash within 12 weeks. Remote Intelligent will receive an additional investment from DPLS, which will be used for working capital to expand the company. You see what I'm saying? Expansion is always good. So does DPLS benefit from these acquisitions? As part of the strategy to expand the capabilities of its system and open new service lines for growth, Dark Pulse has acquired major positions in both entities. A DPLS position As DPLS positions itself to be the foundational infrastructure technology, see that? As DPLS positions itself to be the foundational infrastructure technology, these acquisitions will strengthen the company's relationship and enable DPLS to meet new challenges and opportunities. All right, so that one was pretty short, like I said. But think about what we were talking about earlier. Everybody knows it's time to redo the infrastructure, all the bridges, all the buildings, all the hog malls, all the collard greens, all the pig feet. You know what I mean? Friday reference for those who don't know. So, but this is positioning them, right? They want to position themselves to be the foundational infrastructure technology. Now, I read that as they're basically wanting to be the go-to for everything in that situation. So if I were them, I mean, I'm trying to see how you get to the point where you are involved in every new building that goes up, every new bridge that goes up, everything that gets built. You need to be involved because, you know, when you for the newer car, you know, that have technology in it, you know, whatever, the newer, the more sensors it's got, right? And the more stuff it tells you. And whether you think you want to know or don't want to know, every now and then it's convenient to have and be able to check this at the push of a button. So like I said, what if you can check the integrity of your roof on your home from your cell phone? You see what I'm saying? What if you knew that you're moving towards a leaky roof in this area 6 months before it started leaking? You know what I mean? Like, you could prepare your maintenance plan because you have a continuous based monitoring system in your home, in your office, in your residential towers, right? So let's take a look at some of the other stuff they have going on here. June signs teaming agreement with Graycon Construction, to act as company's installation partner. Here we go, right? So New York, June 23rd, Dark Pulse, and a technology company based or focused on the manufacture, sale, installation, and monitoring of laser sensing systems based on its patented BOTDA Dark Pulse sensor technology, which provides data stream of critical metrics for assessing the health and security of infrastructure. You see what I'm getting at? For assessing the health and security of infrastructure. Today announced it has signed a teaming agreement with Graycon Construction to act as the company's installation, distribution, and construction partner. Graycon will also be responsible for constructing the company's demonstration site at Graycon's facility located in Marietta, Ohio. Now, the family behind Graycon Construction founded its general building construction company in the 1920s based in the heart of Utica Shale, so in West Virginia Polymer Alliance. Graycon understands the intricacies of midstream gas transmission, gas processing, polymer development, all right? Graycon provides surveying, site utility, and process equipment installation. You see what I'm saying? Remember I was talking about the assets at the plant. There's no difference. There's just no walls sometimes when you're out in the field installing assets. Millwright work, concrete, masonry, steel erection, carpentry, industrial piping, pipe fabrication, and electrical work. So Graycon is going to be able to offer their clients, their customers, the ability to measure on an ongoing basis the integrity of all of that. Now let's look at that again, because it's expanding on what I was saying earlier with more precise details, and I want you to see the value here. So now this part was more like industrial gas transmission, but your gas pipe, you got gas pipes in your house. How many times has there been an accident due to a gas leak? This could potentially warn you of that before the gas hits. If there's a weakening pipe or something, this can let you know when it's getting close to failure or when it fails. But anyway, Graycon provides surveying, site utility, Here we go. Process equipment installation, millwright work. So think about every concrete foundation. Think about all the masonry. Think about anything that has a steel frame. Think about carpentry. Your industrial piping, right? Your pipe fabrication. So you got pipes all in your home. You got electrical work that runs through conduit. You got all kinds of stuff, right? And remember, it also does temperature. So now you could actually hook up these sensors for those people that know what I'm talking about. And if you're worried about the electrical issues or something in your conduit, you know, you're coming in with infrared scans periodically to be aware ahead of these things. Maybe you don't need to come with infrared scans every now and then because you can install sensors now that can keep track of the temperature as well as the structure. So anyway, let's get back to see what else they have going on here. But that was one of their team ups. So Dark Pulse Inc. signs team agreement with Safe LLC, act as company's safety support and quality assurance auditors. You see what I'm saying? So now they're going, let's see who SureSafe has an unwavering commitment to an incident-free workplace for the benefits of employees, customers, and community. They assist in developing a safety culture that establishes results by maintaining a safe and healthy project for all employees, committing resources to protect and support safety, assisting employees to take responsibility and ownership for safety every day. Okay, so SureSafe is now an integral part of Dark Pulse's safety programs to ensure an incident-free workplace. So everybody that works in these type of workplaces knows what this is talking about, and one, you can't put a price on you can't put a price on safety. The objective at every workplace is for the workers to go home as they arrived. You know what I mean? We don't want no missing fingers. We don't want no nothing. No accidents. No injuries, right? So safety is big, okay? If it's not safe, it's not good for anybody. All right? This is a lot of opportunity for them. So check that out. And then the more recent thing on June 30th, Dark Pulse announces letter of intent to acquire Teradata Unmanned PLLC, a drone-based company offering multiple platforms, including underwater capabilities. Now they're going to go submarine on you. So Teradata provides unique services critical in countering the increasing public safety concern related to bridges, culverts, dams, and similar infrastructure. You know what I mean? Cause I know you be nervous when you sitting on that bridge and traffic ain't moving and you feel your car going like this. And you know you stopped and you're like, shit, that's the bridge swaying. Well, how much can you flex it before it break? Now they designed with that intent, but how many years have passed? You know what I mean? How did that earthquake that hit 100 miles away truly affect it in its integrity long term? You know what I'm saying? All kinds of questions. You know? All right. So you see where they're going? This is what I'm talking about here. This is what I mentioned earlier. You know, think about all the infrastructure. Think about your governments talking about they need to do infrastructure. Well, if you're going to redo it, you might as well install some sensors so that we can know next time before you get another Florida building falling down. Teradata's ROV inspection services are needed more than ever as the United States struggles to assess conditions and deterioration of aging infrastructure. Specializing in underwater inspection through their unmanned vehicles, Teradata mitigates the safety and concerns surrounding human divers. So, like they said earlier, they're going to have control of land, air, sky, everything, and they have the best product in the world in that industry. This is only a matter of time before it explodes. Take a look at Dark Pulse. Take a look at Mydecine. You make your own decision. I'm Pasha Paro. This is Y97. Big board pep for my peeps. Thank you for tuning the replay. Enjoy.